Good day, everyone. Well, let's go through our agenda for today. We're going to go through, brief introduction of who am I and who my co-founder is, what Product Builder is about, and why we're doing this. And then we're going to go through the products we're going to be using, the AI tools we're going to be using for building your applications to life. And then we're going to do a live demo of actually building this out. We're not just going to give you the theory, we're going to give you a live demo. We're going to have the bells and whistles and whatnot. And then you are going to have the time to build your own products from scratch in less than 20-30 minutes. That is how fast it is to build a fully functional app using AI. And that is the whole premises of this workshop. And then it's not a goodbye, it's a see you later, because we have some other workshops and plans for you guys to help you become better product builders. All right. With that being said, I present to you a bit about myself. Ola Shimarako, for those who know, I also go by Ola. I'm the cool one, of course, out of Sharon and I, even though she infiltrated my presentation with that fun picture. But anyways, so we are both the co-founders of the Product Builders. I'm currently a product manager at MasterCard, but at the same time, I love building solutions for businesses and teaching people how to be better product builders. I will let Sharon introduce herself real quick, and then we'll go right into it.
Hi all, I'm Ola Sheung, but everyone calls me Z, so feel free to also address me as that. I've worked as a product manager for a few years across different industries, and super excited to help you all, regardless of where you are in your journey.
Nice. Awesome. So what is Product Builders about? Why do we start this? So we are seeing a change in how people are building products. I want to empower the next generation of product builders to thrive in this AI-driven world. And we're doing this in a couple of ways. We are combining education, we are combining mentorship, and we're also helping people, businesses and startups build their own product using AI and to help them build products that will last in this AI era. So that's the whole point of Product Builders, building builders and crafting the future. So now that we understand what Product Builder is about, please be sure to follow us. I believe Sharon dropped the link tree in the chat, so you can give us a follow and check out some of the other cool things we're doing outside of this workshop. Okay. Any question at the cost of this, drop in the chat. All right, the rundown. What you're going to learn from today's session is something that you ought to pay me top dollars for. I'm just saying. But because I love you so much and I'm in the giving mode, I'm going to give you guys free game for about 45 minutes. All right, so what we're going to learn? We're going to learn how to prompt like a pro. We're going to learn how to build a front end in literally less than 2 minutes. Trust me, you're going to learn how to build a front end in less than 2 minutes. That's how crazy it is. And we're going to build our back end and, refine our products to be a bit more fully functional and fully production ready, for lack of better words, in less than maybe 10-15 minutes, depending on the bugs we figure out. And we're going to use this using ChatGPT, Claude, Google AI Studio, Codex, Cursor, and Supabase. Okay? Hopefully everyone has the link to all these sort of tools and have an account with all these tools. If not, please let us know in the chat and we'll be happy to help you out with that. Okay. All right. Now, let's get into the fun part. Let's build. All right. Is everyone excited to build? Give me a reaction. Give me a reaction. Give me something in the chat. I need to feel the energy. Or how is everyone feeling like? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So you have accounts with all other platforms. Oh my God, Lola. Yeah. So if you Sharon could, if you don't mind, just putting all.
Yeah. So I just dropped the links to all of the tools. So feel free to just open each one and create an account. Most of them should have a free. Well, they all have a free option, so you should be able to use that for this.
Awesome. Okay. So this is what I'm gonna be building. Roast my resume. I've already built this, tested it, and it works perfectly. And I built all of this in literally less than 30 minutes. And you are going to do that right now. Okay. So what we're going to do first of all, right, is to open Google AI Studio. Whenever you want to build an app, you're like, what is my idea? But because you're smarter than just putting your idea, build a roast my resume. No. We're not going to do that. So what we're going to do, right, is we're going to go to ChatGPT and say, hey, ChatGPT, I have an idea and I want you to build it. But because you are smarter than that, you don't just tell it to do something. You have a well-designed prompt. And now you may ask, how did I get this detailed prompt, right? Well, that's just part of my secret sauce. But because I'm in a given mood today, I'm going to share my secret sauce. The trick to getting great prompt like this sort of in-depth prompt, is by letting your AI system give you the prompt. What do I mean by that? So if I open another ChatGPT screen, all I have to do is say, turn this to a super prompt. Okay. By saying this, the AI system is now thinking of like, okay, I want to turn something basic into something extraordinary. And now you have more constraint and more preciseness to your prompt. And this helps your LLM model give you the ultimate result. As you can see, this is way, you're a chief product officer. Okay, what does that mean? I could be a chief product officer for like a B2B service. I could be a chief product officer for something else. I could be something random. Like the AI system will start thinking in all directions. But because I have fine-tuned what I want my AI system to think like, how to respond to me like, it is going to give me a more accurate answer. This is just a quick caveat. And so this prompt I've generated is one I've refined over time because I built a lot of products and designs. And so this is one that I know works perfectly for me. And the reason why I specifically like this prompt, again, you guys can steal this prompt. I'm going to put it in the chat so that you can have this. You're welcome. Your free gift, one of your free gifts for the year. Okay. I'm going to just put this in chat so you guys can have this. Okay. So what does this prompt do? Why do I like this prompt so much? Essentially, what this prompt telling me is it's making sure the AI system goes step by step. Because the problem with AI systems is they hallucinate. Everyone knows that. And AI systems are a black box. Once you kind of don't give them a constraint, they start to go left and right. And you only need them to focus on the center, you know? And so by giving it this sort of constraint and phases, it helps it think more clearly and focus its thinking. All right, as you can see here, I pasted this, and all I have to do is put in what I want to build, my idea. My idea is roast my resume, right? And then all of a sudden, it goes to phase one and starts to ask me a question. Again, what you want to do with your AI system is, and I'm taking my time with the prompting because this is very, very important. What you want to do with this AI system, right, is to think with it. You're not just giving it the whole thing and letting it figure it out. No. You are thinking with it. And you're letting it ask you questions that you might have not thought about. Like it's asking me like, okay, so who's my primary audience, right? How do I want to roast them? Like, what should the MT look like? What should be the depth of analysis? How are we going to make money? Those things that I might have missed or I might have not considered, the AI system asks me that question. And I can even go for and say, okay, ask me a question in this sort of regards, ask me a question in this sort of regards, what have I missed? And that helps me as a product manager or as a product builder refine my product and my offering. Okay? And now that we have aligned ourselves into, okay, this is what we want to build, this is what I want, we can go into the next phase of, okay, now, how do we build it? What are we building for? And then now it gives me the in-depth of, okay, this is the problem I'm solving for. This is the potential opportunity. This is our target audience. Because again, whenever you're building a product, I know there's been a product for vibes, you can do that. But if you want to build a product for somebody, for a consumer, you need to understand these nuances of like the audience, the functionalities, the features, and whatnot. And you can work with your AI system to do that in a matter of seconds. Okay, now that we understand what we want to do, we need to understand the design flow. Now, this is very crucial because the design flow helps us build this app to life. Now that you have the design, right? All you have to do is you can go further and back and forth with your AI system depending on if you like it or you don't like it. Again, this is a collaborative system. Your AI chatbot is your coworker. See it as like your mini intern, right? So you want to collaborate with it. All right, enough talking. Now that I figured out the UI flow I want to use and I'm fine with this, I just copy this, right? And then what I do is I paste this user flow into Google AI Studio. Again, I've already built my application, but again, because we want to be fun, right? We don't want to keep it in the safe zone. I'm going to paste this right here into the chat. But before I do that, because again, we work smart and we're trying to be efficient. Within every sort of AI coding platform, so whether that's Google AI Studio, whether that is Lovable, whether that is V0, whatever it is, there's an instruction model. So there's something called system instruction. So because we are smart, right, we have a specific prompt for our system instruction so that our AI system makes production ready app. We don't want it to just give us Willy Wonka products app. We don't want it to give us apps that are not really, that has holes in it. We want to figure those out. So what I did was, or what you're going to do is, we're going to go to Claude. And the reason I love Claude for anything AI coding agents, because Claude is really good at coding. No debate about that. So where I went to Claude was like, hey, turn this simple prompt. Remember what I told you guys earlier? Turn this prompt into a super prompt. Your AI coding agent, I'll give you the user flow and you build a functional flow this app. Claude gave me this comprehensive system instruction. Now, because I have the system instruction, my AI is not going to be doing things that you ought not to do. Because again, remember, AIs need to be put in a certain box or confinement so that they can work more efficiently. Okay. All right. Also, now that we put that in this system instruction, we are good to go. Before I move further, any questions? Am I moving too fast? Am I moving too slow? I just want to get a pulse check.
A little too fast.
Okay, a little too fast. I will try to calm it down. Awesome. All right, since we're all on the same boat. Okay, now I know that this is my prompt, right? That I've gotten from ChatGPT. Let me just remove some of the fluff. Okay, actually, this is the wrong one. Let me get this. Let me copy this. Use this right here. Remove the things that I do. Awesome. I hope you guys are following along as well. All right, now I've taken my user flow from ChatGPT into Gemini Pro. And again, I've given this an instruction so that it can be a smart coding agent. All right, now I'm just going to click build and the magic is going to happen. And the reason why we chose Google AI Studio is because Google AI Studio lets you add AI functionalities very seamlessly. And it's one of the fastest ways to build prototypes in literally less than 2 minutes. And again, this is the premise of the workshop, to kind of build a product, test it out users, and scale it up to a production ready app. And also another thing with Google AI Studio is they also give you ideas of what you could add into your product that could make it better. And I think that just kind of gives a certain unique edge over other sort of solutions. Another thing, if you don't know about Google AI Studio, you can actually also deploy your application or share your application with friends to test out your product in real time. So you don't have to know about how to deploy to like a Netlify or deploy to like a Vessel or what have you. You can easily just share it with your friends easily, and they can have the link once it's made. And yeah, and you can also move it to your GitHub as well. So that was the reason why we chose Google AI Studio as opposed to any other sort of coding platform. But there are tons out there. But at the same time, on the fundamental level, the principles, the concept are the same. It's just the vehicle is different, really. So you're not to drive once. You can drive any car. Maybe not a truck, but you can drive a car. All right. So take a couple more minutes. In the meantime, any questions? Any questions? Anything? Sorry, you're a bit muffled if you have a question. You're muffled. You can put it in the chat if you'd rather.
Hi, I have some questions.
Yes.
Okay, so I had to download all the tools that you all suggested. From there, we have the prompt. Well, what's the first tool that we're going to be using, that we're going to use a prompt on?
Yeah, so if you're referring to Google AI Studio, this is where we pull our prompts from. Remember, ChatGPT was our product management coworker, right? And it gave us this user flow that we went back and forth with. And then we posted our products. Now that we understand our user flow, we now posted it into Google AI Studio to build out that user flow, right? Does that answer your question?
It answered the question, yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, now we have had the app and it ran for 123 seconds. Boom. This could have taken me almost a day to do this. But anyway, if you're building your apps, you can go back and forth your AI system to improve this, add this feature. Another cool thing with Google AI Studio is you can actually annotate. You can say, okay, I want this screen right here to be red. Let's actually do that live. and just say add to chat. And it takes that screenshot of what I just copied, right? And I'll just say change the roasted text to, I don't know, green, just for fun. So all I did was I annotated what I wanted to change in my UI, and I told Gemini or Google AI Studio to make that change, and it's going to make that change, hopefully. Another thing with Google AI Studio, you can add pictures and screenshots. So if you have like a UI flow you made on pen and paper, you can literally post it on here, and it will you build on top of that sort of screenshot. Or if you had your business logo on here, right? So instead of using this generic sort of logo, I could add my business logo and say, hey, add my logo on here instead of this sort of icon. So those are just some few ways you can use Google AI Studio, some tricks and tips. And at the same time as well, you can also see it in different device preview and whatnot. Okay. For the sake of time, because I definitely want you guys to build and we still have a lot to cover, I am just going to pause this, but it does make that change. Now, the next thing we're going to do, again, what we want to do is we want to make this a fully functional app from start to finish. We have the front end. It looks good. It works probably. Let's actually see if it works on my Google AI Studio environment. I'll pull up my resume. Please do not judge my resume. I promise it's stellar. All right, boom. Seems that it works to some degree. But again, it might not fully work. It doesn't really matter right now. We'll do a lot of the cleanup in Cursor. Right here, we just wanted to get our front end working for the most part. So essentially what you want to do is you want to use Google AI Studio as your front end, and then you use Cursor, Codex, IDE, or Cloud Code as your back end. And the reason why is because Google AI Studio honestly is more like a lightweight solution, and it's not really the best if you want to build end-to-end application. So what we're going to do is we're going to save to GitHub, right? So everyone should have a GitHub account. If you don't, please get a GitHub account. I forgot to tell you guys about that. So what you want to do is you want to log in your GitHub account, right? And then you just put in your original name, to right, resume to, okay. And then what this does is GitHub. So if in case you don't know, GitHub is a platform to store your code base essentially. And so all it does right now is all the apps here, all the sort of code he has written is sending it to my GitHub, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to GitHub. We don't time. Okay. I'm going to go to my GitHub, and again, if you do not know this, it's fine. We're going to do a quick walkthrough. I will copy this code, and then come to. Now things might get a bit slightly more technical, but not so technical that you can't do it. FYI. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a new window, and I'm just going to tell Cursor. Again, everyone asks Cursor. Everyone's on Cursor. Hope you're following. Clone my repo, right? And then just put the URL. And then clone from URL, and it's literally just going to clone my app. And then I'm going to see if I want to upload it from. Let me go to. Okay. Awesome. Now my code is not on Cursor, and now I can the fun can begin. Okay. Before I even go into any sort of nitty-gritty, the things I like to do first is to run it on my local host to ensure that it works in this sort of environment. Because again, Google AI Studio has some backends of functionality that lets it run, but within my local host, some things might have been broken. So we have to check that. So what we first do is run npm install. So what npm install does is installs your package.json. So your package.json is all the dependencies you need, all the tools you need, or all the libraries you need for your app to be functional. That's what your package.json does. And then once you install your package.json, it installs the node models, which stores all pretty much like a wire sort of cleaner or your wire keeper. You know, when you have a bunch of junky sort of wires, it kind of compresses it together, for like a better words. And then we're going to do npm run dev. Okay, so we're getting a bit technical. So please, if you have any questions, please put in the chat or like interrupt me, because I know this could be a bit more technical for people who are not fully technical. So what we're going to do is npm run dev, and then it's going to run it. Don't open for now, and then I'm going to open to localhost just to check things out. Okay. Okay. As you can see, as always, whenever you're coding, you always have issues, which is part of the game. And so what you want to do is, if you have an issue, is inspect, go to console, and then we'll look at the error. Okay, this is the error. So you see, this is the error right here, right? Someone asked, why is Cursor relevant? The reason why Cursor is relevant is because Cursor is a coding IDE, is a coding environment that has AI on top of it. So we're going to see the beauty of Cursor right now. Of course, there are other sort of coding IDE like Anti-Gravity, but because Cursor is one of the most used one, and it's very also easy to use, we are going to be using Cursor for this demo. All right, now we have an issue. Everyone saw that issue, right? My AI app is blank. And why is it blank? I have no clue. But it said there's an error here. So let me try and fix that error first and see if it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Cursor, right? And say, hey, I got this error. I got this error. Fix it. Okay. And then the coding AI agents, this is why Cursor is very important. The AI model is literally looking through my whole file and say, okay, what is the issue? All right, how would I fix this issue? And then starts to like, reconfigure my whole subsystem. And then it's telling me to like run things. Another thing it does is there's a human in the loops of components, where like it's not going to perform actions. It's not going to install, delete, or change my code base unless I give it approval to do so. So if you are very technical, you also want to be able to say, okay, no, this doesn't look right. This looks right. This is fine. And you are the one steering the ship, if that makes sense. So it's not fully on autopilot, but you are being aided by this of AI component. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep all changes because I trust my AI system. I hope it doesn't do anything illegal. All right, and then we're going to go to this and see if anything changes. Oh, nothing changes. All right, and I'll see. Again, this is why you have Cursor. And I want us to do this live. Okay, my screen is blank white. Investigate and fix it. Now Cursor AI agent is going to, look into it and then try to fix this issue. Now, how does Cursor know to do this? Cursor is built on top of the LLM models, and based on the model you have, you can easily switch your models as well. So if you're a pro, you know that okay, Claude is really good at coding agents, so you might want to switch your model to like a Claude Opus. Or if you feel like okay, I'm doing a lightweight project, you can switch your model to I don't know, OpenAI's 4.0 mini. So they give you that sort of flexibility on what your coding agent does, and that is the same thing Codex IDE does. So if you saw in my text, I told you guys to install Codex as well. So I personally like to use Codex when I want to do heavy duty sort of transformation. So typically I personally code in Next.js, right? And as you can see, Google AI Studio gives me my coding output in Vita. I don't know anything about Vita. I cannot solve any sort of bugs I find in Vita because I don't know about that ecosystem. So what I usually tell Codex to do literally is to transform my whole code base, turn my whole code base into Next.js. So what you can actually do is tell Codex, right, which is more heavy duty, to convert your whole code base into a coding language you understand. That is how powerful these models are. That is how powerful these models are. And now this is going to take a long time to kind of debug this. And because of the sake of time, I've already gone through this, and I'm just going to open my previously made solution, right? And then we're going to go into the backend. As you can see, I had this in my AI system to like fix those issues, which is fine. Now our app is functional. Our app UI is working. The next thing we need to do is integrate a backend to it. Now, how do we do this? Okay. But before I go into the backend, does it make sense what I just mentioned? Is everyone following along? Is there any question? Just give me a quick pulse check.
Are you going to have a recording?
We are going to have the recording.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. All right, now we know that our front end is working, everything is good. We need to integrate our backend. We need to integrate Supabase. We need to integrate authentication. How do we do this using AI? Right? Couple of things. If you have Cursor alone, I like to recommend you do this. Go to your settings, right? Settings. Then you want to go to rules and commands. Actually, I take that back. You want to go to indexing and docs. What you want to do is you want to add a doc, right? And what you are going to do is you're going to go to Supabase. You go to Supabase, literally copy the supabase.com website, and you go back to Cursor and you paste this right here. Now, what that does is like Cursor is going to go to Supabase website and crawl the whole documentation page, so that way Supabase has Cursor has the latest information about Supabase. Because the thing with technology is technology changes. And if you know how AI models are developed, they are built on top of data, and they usually have a cutoff mark. So like this model might have been built from data from before August 12, right? And then it doesn't receive the latest information. So what we're doing is we're giving it the latest documentation information, so that way when it's building my app, it's not giving me old code and then I have to fix that issue. It's giving me the latest code changes. So that is why you want to always add your doc from your framework of choice and your APIs or any sort of connection points you're going to use. That's just a quick tip on that regard. Okay. All right. So if you're using Cursor, you want to literally place this instruction into Cursor or Codex. But before we do that, again, because we are smart builders, right? What we're going to do is go to Supabase Claude Code, right? We're going to go to Claude Code and say, Claude, improve this prompt for my AI agent. I want you to integrate a Supabase backend and authentication. Whenever a user clicks a Save Rows button in the app, upon analysis, they'll be prompted to sign in, and their resume and roster will be saved to the Supabase database. Okay, as you can see here, Claude has given me a fully functional prompt to give my AI agent, so that my AI agent is focused on what to develop for me. Remember, AI agents, if you do not put them on a box or on a list, they go haywire. You don't want that. You want it to be focused on the things you ought to focus on. And so Claude has done the legwork for me. From this simple prompt of everything I need to post to my agents, all I do is literally, of course, review it, copy this, right? And then go to Cursor. In this case, I'm using Codex because, again, the reason why it's Codex as well is this took a lot of, like 1,000 lines of code were changed. And because I have ChatGPT Pro, Codex, I have a higher rate limit. So this is not going to break down. But again, you can use Cursor for this as well. But what I'm going to do is literally paste this. That's what I did. Paste what Claude told me into my AI system, right? And then literally does the magic. That was it. I pasted that into the system and it asked me a couple of questions. It worked for almost like 5 minutes and then, built the whole system for me. And then it finally gave me instruction like, all you have to do, literally all I have to do is go to my .env.local file and add my API keys. That is all I have to do to integrate my backend. Now, if you're not familiar with Supabase, Supabase is a backend authentication platform. It's pretty much a backend in a box solution, out of the box backend solution. And it has everything from authentication, database, storage, real-time functionalities, and whatnot. But again, we're not focused on Supabase today. And so it's simple. You create an account, create an organization, create a project, and you're good. But for the sake of those who don't know about this, I am going to do that real quick. So all you're going to do is log in. It's going to ask you to create an organization. You create your organization, and it's going to actually create a project. You add your project, and then it's going to give you like an API key. I'm going to delete this, so that's fine. It's going to give you your product URL and API key. You're going to need this to connect your application into Supabase, right? As Codex informed me earlier that I need to add my Supabase URL and Supabase anon key. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, go to my env.local file, right? And then paste this right here. Paste my URL and I paste my anon key. And then of course I'm going to paste my Gemini API key because I'm building an AI application. All right, my Supabase is connected, right? And now let's test it out. Before I even do that as well, if you remember in my Cursor, in my Cursor Codex environment, he also told me to do this. I read the instructions. It's like, hey, run the SQL block in the lib inside this Supabase SQL editor. What does this do? So this is the prompt. This essentially is telling Supabase that, hey, create this table, create this database, so that whenever a user does something within this application, it stores it within this soft table. That is what's essentially telling me to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Supabase, right? Which I've already done this as well to save time. Paste this into my SQL editor. That's it. I run it. And just like that, my table has been created. Just like that, my table is created. That was it. Nothing. And now if I go back to my original with my resume, I literally have login authentication done within minutes. I can log out. I've not done any roast. Let me log out, sign out. I can sign out. I can sign in, create an account. I believe I have an account. I do have an account. Yeah. I can sign in back in again. Upload my resume. Let's see this live. Again, this is my fully functional application. Now my application has a front end, it has a back end, and it has an AI capability to give me a resume response. And it also has a paywall behind my application. I've literally built an app in literally less than 30 minutes that could have taken me months. Now this is my roster. It's giving me feedback like, hey, your experience section effectively highlights signals information and blah 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 blah. You know, I can work on this. And because part of my picture was like, I want to get ATS optimized resume, but you have to pay to receive this. That's my paywall right there. Exactly. And now I can save my roast to my account. I'll see my saved roast. See, I didn't even build any of this. I didn't write any line of code. AI literally wrote this code for me. And then if I go to my backend and I refresh, you'll see this pop up. This is all my database. You don't even have to know anything about this, but again, it's good to know about this. But what I'm trying to say is it's super easy to build this. Now let me sign out. And I log back in again. Boom, it's right there. I have literally built an end-to-end application in a matter of minutes. That is how powerful these tools are if you know how to use them effectively. But again, this is very rudimental. If you're building a production level app, there are other sort of nuances to it, but this can help you go from 0 to 1 in literally minutes. And that is the whole point of this workshop. Of course, we have more intensive workflows and more diverse ways to do things, but this will kind of get you started and off to the races. That is pretty much it on my sort of presentation. The next thing really is for you guys to build your own thing, right? It is your turn. But before I even go into your turn, any questions? Any questions? Because we want to use the next 15, 20 minutes to let you guys build something. Any questions?
Yeah, and while you're thinking of the questions, just to put a little more clarity, we want you to build live, and we'll be here to like TA and support you and hold your hands through any errors that you run into. So please, like, just stay on the call, and we can do this together as a group. And we can't wait to see what you'll build.
Yes, indeed. And if you are lacking ideas, you have some ideas you can build, you know, resume reviewer, plant identifier, competitive intelligence assistant, whatever it is. We want you to build this right now so you can learn these fundamentals, and we can help you along the way, as Sean rightfully mentioned. So if you don't mind putting in chat what you plan to build. Oh, we're not done yet. Please do not leave. We want to see your beautiful ideas. But in case you leave, there are a couple of things we want you to do first before you leave. But we don't want you to leave. First of all, whatever you build, we want you to tag product builders on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever it is. Show us what you built. Show us the amazing magic you built from what you've learned in today's session. And you can see that in our link tree and in our social media pages. The next thing we want you to do is we are planning to host a 4 weeks intensive AI building workshop. This was just the surface. There are other things you need to learn about building AI solutions, from how to use Cloud Code, how to use Cursor in-depthly, how to use MCP servers, how to build production, to use other tools like anti-gravity and whatnot. But again, this is just the beginning and scratching the surface. And as we rightfully mentioned, we do not want you to leave here. We want you to build this application and share what you built on this call and beyond. So what are you guys going to build? Feel free to put it in the chat, feel free to come out of mute, or what have you.
Yes, and it's officially 10:40, so we will start the timer for building. We'll spend the next 15 to 20 minutes building. So feel free to get started, go into ChatGPT, start crafting your prompts, put that in AI Studio, just to recap the steps that he made for those who are not here. Drop your prompt, create a prompt, a super prompt in ChatGPT, then drop that in AI Studio. Make sure you set your system instructions. And then once you have all of that ready, for those who don't have GitHub, you can download that project folder and drop it in Cursor. And you can go from there to create that backend that you need. So let's get started. We are here to support you. If you have any questions, just come off mute or type it in the chat, or even share your screen, and we want to help you.
Yes. Nice. Okay. That's a good one, Lola. Also, just a quick plug, Lola. At Product Builder, we have a consulting arm. So if you guys ever want to take your product from 0 to 1, you can shoot us an email and we'll be able to help you out with that. Just a FYI.
Yes, I will drop our email as well.
Yes.
And if you are interviewing, if you are trying to land a job, our last workshop was an interview prep workshop. We help individuals with mock interviews, interview prep, resume reviews. So feel free to reach out to us as well.
Let me play some background music while you guys build.
So Miriam, to your question, how does that work? How does what work? The prep. Oh yes. So depends on what stage you're at, like whether you're needing prep in terms of like going through like landing an interview, or if you already have an interview and you want prep for that. But like we pretty much like discuss and create like a case by case plan for each individual. So feel free to shoot us an email about like where you are, what you need help with, and we'd be more than happy to support. And if you are a student, we we really want to work with you, especially given the current job market. So let us know, and we'd be more than happy to support you. I think you didn't share audio.
Hey, Mina, yes, you can. Let me walk you through that. Right. So when you go to Google App Studio, you just want to download the app, right? And then it gives it to you, and then you can just open the zip file.
Okay, because I was confused because it said download the app, not the code, so I thought to download the whole app.
So what is it? You're a bit. Oh dear.
So after downloading the app, I just paste the entire thing into cursor, right?
Yes, so when you download the app, you just open cursor and you should see an option to open folder.
Yeah.
And you just say open folder and it should bring out like your file explorer and then you should be able to select the folder you just downloaded. But like extract the folder first. Extract the zip file first.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Open. How's just a quick check? How's everyone doing? How's it going? Are you stuck anywhere? Just let us know in the comment section so we can support you. Just a last check. If no one has issues, feel free to come off mute and tell us what you're building. Feel free to tell us what point you're at. If you need any help, if not, we will start to wrap things up. We also want to be mindful of time. Please let us know. Oh, that's pretty
Ooh.
cool.
Do you mind? Do you want to share screen? Show us what you have so far.
Yeah, sure. Just give me a minute.
Okay, awesome. Wow, that's pretty cool. Others who are building as well, if you don't mind putting in the chat or what you've built so far. Okay, awesome.
Is my screen visible?
And it is visible.
Yeah, so like I just pasted some code in the cursor, but yeah, I'm stuck. Like I don't know what to do after this.
Okay,
So
so you can go and show it.
no, you're good. You're good.
So what you want to do is you want to open the terminal. If you could go up,
Yeah,
you should see like terminal or new terminal. Yeah. Okay, there you
yeah.
go. Now you want to run npm install. And then you want to npm run dev. Actually, backspace.
Oh.
Yeah, space run
Like-
dev. Yeah.
Okay.
And then just do open.
Don't open.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then click on the localhost. Yeah, just command click if you're using an Apple. On the look, you see the local
Okay.
three.
Yeah.
Yeah. Command click. Open in XML.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
So do you want to show that screen? Let's see what's happening.
Oh. Oh. Yeah. Um, um, is my screen visible?
Yes.
So what I did was I did not select the location earlier, and now it's not allowing me to do it again. So, but this is what it looks like.
Okay.
I think it's a little blurry, but is it blurry for everyone?
It is blurred for me as well.
But I mean, we can see your home screen, so like, great. Okay, I think it's just coming. Oh, this is awesome. Okay,
Right.
sorry. Continue.
Yeah, so like I did not select the location earlier, so it's not allowing me to like reselect it. I think I'll have to fix this. But otherwise, yeah, I think it's loading. So
Yeah, it looks good. I think you probably have some have you added your API keys to the
Um,
project?
no.
That's why. So I think once you add your API keys and your URL, you should be all squared away really. But this is looks
Oh, okay. Yeah. And how do I so I add API keys by using Google AI Studio or on Cursor?
So you're using Maps, so you should be able to go into like Google Cloud's interface, and you should be able to get like an API key for Maps, I believe.
Oh, okay, okay, got it.
And then you will
Okay.
just like if you're a first time user, like you should get like free credits and whatnot, and you should be able to use that.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Yes. Another thing to know is go to Cursor, just so you know that all the API keys you need to use, go to Cursor. And then
Yeah.
what you want to do is on the search button on top, yeah, just
Yeah.
type process.env. Process.env.
NV.
So go back, backspace. That's it. Dot, like the full stop, back. Process, back.
Dot.
No, back.
Oh.
Back again. All right, dot env.
NV. Yeah. That is.
Env.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Search. Nothing shows up. Interesting. Okay.
She has anv.local. Like I think if she copies from that and creates an anv file, she should be able to. Can you click into the file that's
Yeah.
.env_local?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where you would put your API key. But like you want to create one, like so sometimes like some coding agents will give you like this .local file. So you like duplicate it and you make a .env file. Like that's what the file will be called. And then you just put this requirement, like this environment variable in there.
Okay.
And then you replace where it says placeholder API key, you just replace it.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Exactly that. And just go to Cozy Map. I want to see something first. I want to ensure you that there's not an API key I'm missing.
Where?
Cozymap.tsx.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So sometimes, usually, it will ask you to like add a Google Map API key, but you could probably walk through Cursor with that one. But as Sean rightly mentioned, you probably just need to update your Gemini API key.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this API key I can get from Cursor or Codex.
You can get from Google AI Studio. So if you go to Google AI Studio,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Now go to go back. Actually, go to back to start.
Um.
Yeah, it's fine. It should be
Yeah.
safe. And then go to get API key. You see it on bottom left.
Oh yeah.
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 And then just create API key or use one of the API keys you have already.
This.
You can create a new API key for your project, or you can simply just copy this one, whichever one works.
You can use that.
This.
And for those who might want to work on their projects later, just drop the developer document. Well, just a document where you can see the same set of instructions. So feel free to just open that link.
And I will paste it here instead of the placeholder API key, right?
Yeah, so remove that and copy it. Yep.
And now I run the terminal again. Like I go to the local host again.
Save the file so your changes are reflected.
Yeah.
And then you can even just go to it. It restarted your server already, so you can just open it.
But it does not show it does not show the cafes. It's loading fine now, but I'm not able to see anything.
So have you set your address?
No, so it did not allow me to log in. It just directly created a user profile. It asked for my location, but that's it.
Okay. Oh, it asked you for your location.
It did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's go back into your code. And
In Cursor?
yes.
Okay, yeah.
Actually, sorry, before we go back to Cursor, can we just inspect your page to see what is shown on your console?
Yeah. How do I do that?
If you're on a Mac.
Yeah.
Do you want to copy a lookout to Chrome?
Yeah.
Where?
Do you have Chrome?
She's in Safari. Just click on Safari, like the stuff like
Yeah.
stuff. Actually, no, not that one. I think it's edit. Check edit.
Wait. Do you have Chrome? Do you have Google Chrome?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to copy the localhost 3000 into Chrome?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like I don't use Safari for. New skill. Go learn how to debug in Safari.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Try it.
Oh, okay. Your location's turned off, so that's why it's not pulling anything.
Um,
So
click-
it's
click-
system location.
okay, so if I fix it, I think it would work, right?
It should, theoretically.
Yeah. Okay. I just tried that.
Awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just try that. Yeah. All right.
Mhm.
Nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Be sure to tag us on social media with what you build. We'd love to
Yeah.
share that as well.
Yes,
sure, of
would
course.
definitely love to repost. If anyone else has built anything, just like tag us. We want to share. We want to see everything that you've built. And be sure to also join the wait list. We have a more intensive class concerning this, like AI development, understanding like system architecture, understanding what tools to leverage when. Like this is just like the surface. Like, yes, you can build this for yourself if it's just an app you want to build for yourself, but how do you build an app that supports 500 people, 1,000 people? How do you start building products where you're getting paid by customers and whatnot? How do you integrate to other platforms? Those are the kind of things we'll cover in the next set of workshops, so be sure to join the wait list. With that being said, thank you all so very much for coming on today, and we look forward to seeing you in the next workshop.